Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment down below and I just might end up responding. Well, I just saw Toy Story 4, and You've Got a Friend in Me will probably be stuck in my head for about a week or so why not capitalize? Wrestlers got buds, and I'm not just talking that RVD good shit green bud, I'm talking that good old classic friendship. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, kinda. John Cena and all of his tag team partners, kinda. The wrestling biz is filled with all sorts of wrestlers who care enough of another wrestler's well-being to throw themselves into the ring at harm's expense if it means getting their boys out of the harm's way. Aww. I'm D Wicket, and these are 10 times a wrestler saved another wrestler during or not during a match. Number 10, Dean Ambrose. Man, it truly, honestly feels weird saying that name. And to be even honestlier, it's pretty fucking weird watching him in WWE now too. I know he's only just barely sunk his toes into these new sands, but when you literally go from wrestler B to wrestler A, letter selection very much intentional, it's pretty jolting when you look back on their past. I mean, watching Dean Ambrose now is like watching Husky Harris now. Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme, but you get the idea. I'm off topic. James Ellsworth. Let's talk about this fucking history chapter, huh? Remember when he won a contract in a ladder match against AJ Styles that had let him compete in a rematch for AJ's WWE Championship? Jokes about Ellsworth at one point being 3-0 on Styles aside, this little side story was pretty fantastic and a great way to let Dean and AJ's Styles' clash. And this was a great little moment too.
Dean Ambrose in an Ottawa Senators jersey, and we've got a hockey fight in the ring!
Number 9, Big E Langston. Wow, speaking of names that just, what the fuck in hindsight. Big E Langston, who could forget that I already forgot the rest of that sentence? Yeah, it's a really good thing New Day were given creative freedom and ended up getting to reach the spot they did, because despite Big E looking like Vince McMahon's actual wet dream personified, he never really fared off that well. I mean, his first year or so was pretty damn interesting. Between his stable with Ziggler and AJ Lee and his NXT gimmick of always going for a 5 count because fucking look at him, it's not really a surprise that he ended up having some pretty big moments. Well, here's a moment for you. How about when the Shield were giving an absolute hellish assault to both John Cena and CM Punk in 2013, mind you, only for the big man named Big to come out for the save. Yeah, that's some pretty solid company. Number 8, Jeff Hardy. We've got all sorts of wrestlers either saving their friends or just saving people because reasons. You all saw the thumbnail, and oh, we'll get to that. R.I.P. Blampie. Then, alone on this list is Jeff Hardy, the one man bold enough to save the lady. Oh, you dirty dog. Wait, didn't Matt kill his dog one time? Never mind that, let's focus on the ring and who's inside of it. Trish Stratus was being attacked by Stevie Richards and Victoria, and I would not have known it was either of them if I didn't look it up, before Suave Suicidal himself comes out for the save, and wow, you know what? Wow, this is missed potential. It really is. I can't explain why Jeff and Trish just work so well in my mind, aside from how much charisma each of them has, but wow. It just feels like a pairing that should have had money written all over it. How does this always end up with me disappointed at this stupid fucking company?
Oh, come on. This is not right. Hey, there's Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy.
Number 7, Stone Cold. More often than not, the wrestler being saved ends up getting plenty of licks before the save itself so that they can get plenty of heat on the heel and potential anticipation for that theme song to hit if there is going to be a save, and god damn did anyone's theme song hit quite as hard as the literal glass shattering of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's the second loudest pop in WWE history, and I'm almost positive that that's a fact. Austin may have been a rattlesnake sumbitch, but at his best, he still gave somewhat of a shit about the fellow man, or at least really had shit to give towards Mr. McMahon and any other fellow authority figures. Since the save isn't really the point for this one, given that this was the 9 months in the making return of WWF's biggest ever star, I'm gonna go ahead and let the crowd do the rest of the noise making for me on this one. Number 6, Shawn Michaels. I will never get over the fact that the Spirit Squad existed. 90% because it's a pack of wrestling cheerleaders, 10% because holy shit, that's Dolph Ziggler. Remember 2006, the year Shawn Michaels teamed with God and somehow still lost to the real God, Vince McMahon himself? Completely irrelevant, I just feel the need to make sure it really did happen and I haven't been living through insanity for 13 years. Speaking of 06 Michaels versus McMahon though, remember when DX fought a pack of wrestling cheerleaders? I know, stupid right? But who gives a shit because this throw is my favorite thing in wrestling.
That is Mitch. Mitch tripped and he flew out here. Mitch drunk.
Number 5, Batista. I can't say Batista without instinctually thinking the Animal, and that's probably the best example of WWE throwing a seemingly random nickname at the wall, and I guess today Batista's just a happy little bunny rabbit helping out the squad, or whatever the fuck bunnies do. Sometimes metaphors ain't it, okay? But you know what is it, though? The face that Randy Orton makes whenever he's shocked or surprised or just cannot contemplate what's happening.
Oh my! What?
Holy hell, that's a really good face, Randy. Good job on that. And also, hey, good job to Batista for actually destroying Legacy here, showing off all of that lovely animalistic intensity.
Batista is back! Look out! And Batista with a spear! And Legacy!
Number 4, Triple H saves Mr. McMahon from a wild Brock Lesnar attack. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a goddamn sentence. Back in the good old days when Brock was just a beast and not the goddamn money in the bank contract holding jukebox pretending asshole that he is today, we had some crazy shit go down, alright? Pre-streak ending Brock's WWE return was a little bit all over the damn place. But despite some odd losses here and there, he still always felt like a pretty big deal. For example, remember when Mr. McMahon hit Paul Heyman over the head with a crutch? What? And then Brock came out, said fuck it, and was like 2 seconds away from snapping his boss in half. The kind of thing you really don't see people doing to Vince. Well, yeah, you really didn't see it this time either because it's time to play the game. Number 3, The Undertaker. Alright. It's time to appreciate Matthew McConaughey. Jokes. Well, no, bless the man, but it's Tombstone Taker time. Alright, let's address this mess. The Phenom just made his return to the WWE a staggering couple weeks after his last appearance, which is odd, to save Roman Reigns from Shane McMahon, which is odder. And it didn't even happen at the end of the show, which is definitely oddest. Number 2, Seth Rollins.
How's that been done? We got company!
While Becky Lynch made a nice save herself on the same Raw as Taker, I'd like to take a second to appreciate Seth Rollins for, well, being Seth Rollins. He's the best wrestler on the planet, and he's taken to Twitter lately to make sure that you're aware of it. And fair enough, right? He's basically the head honcho of the top company right now, and they're always getting shit. So to him, yeah, that should be a fucking personal offense. I've always made it clear that I love Rollins, but I also make it very clear that I don't exactly share those feelings with his company. And if he wanted to kick me square in the nuts for that, fair fucking play. I mean, what the hell would I even try to do to stop that? Throw a fucking audio file at him? But still, you get the idea. Anyways, here's Seth Rollins jumping off shit.
Don't do it, Seth! Seth Rollins to the top of the cage! From the top of the cage!
And number 1, Steve Austin. If anyone was gonna make the list twice, it was always gonna be Austin. Because while maybe he wasn't always the most caring, neighborly guy, when he did decide to make a save, it was the biggest thing in the world. His first entry on this list was almost definitely the second biggest pop in WWE history. The number 1 entry on this list is guaranteed the loudest pop in pro wrestling history. Literally, just listen to it. It's the kind of noise Vince probably puts on loop during Raw to make himself feel better. It's what money sounds like. It's the best fucking pop of all time. And hey, it's also Mick Foley winning the WWF Championship. That'll put butts in the seats, alright? And those are 10 times wrestlers saved other wrestlers. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below after liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and notifications and that bell.